I'm draped up and dripped out. I'm draped up and dripped out. Know what I'm talking. I'm draped up and dripped out. Know what I'm talking about. 3 in the morning, get, stash, five, bets. We turning on the bub, hand, wool, ass, tight, showing naked ass in the great state of Texas. Showing naked ass in the great state of Texas. Showing naked ass in the great state of Texas. Showing naked ass in the great state of Texas. Home of the player, so it never be no flex. So long we've been waiting, never ever hating.
Less than 50 miles southeast of Austin, Texas, lies the quaint town of Smithville, a farming and agricultural community with a population of less than 4,000, known more for its contributions to the antique industry rather than the entertainment industry. This is where the story of the man known to the world as DJ Screw begins. Robert Earl Davis Jr. was born on July 20th, 1971, the son of Robert Earl Davis Sr. and Ida Mae Deary. Robert's family members recall life in Smithville.
Smithville. Oh, it's a little small town that, everybody used to come to just to have fun. It was well known back then, you know what I'm saying?
Real slow, laid back, you know what I'm saying? It's just not a lot of opportunity out there.
You can't really make too much out of yourself down there because the way it's surrounded by nothing, you know what I'm saying? No stores too much, no places to, proceed with your life.
We used to spend our summer vacation, we get out of school at our grandma's house, you know what I'm saying? That's way out in the country, I'm talking about dirt roads. So, out there wasn't too much to do, ride your bike, you know what I'm saying? Play with the dog, think about shit, you know what I'm saying? The country ain't too much popping out there.
We was close, we kicked it, we had fun together. Never no fighting, no arguing, we supported each other. We was a close-knit family.
Okay. As a young boy, Robert enjoyed the life of a typical small-town upbringing.
He was a good kid. He was very understanding, and he wasn't a radical kid. He's one that you listen and all and obey people. He really obeyed grown-ups.
Music always been a part of our lives since we was able enough to listen to music. It's just been in blood, and it kept going, stayed in it, and grew, manifested. You feel me?
The mom and pop playing their blues and stuff, and they gave him his own little one of their rec turntables and stuff, and he just started scratching and mixing.
Okay, we bought his first turntable from Western Auto Store for him. He was 10 years old. That's all he wanted was a turntable and some record. Each week, Screw would go out and buy him a record.
Whenever you want to find Screw, go in his room, he on the turntable. Really, man, I don't remember seeing nobody teach him. It's just every day on the table. I guess looking at videos and watching other people, but it was just every day on the table.
The lack of job opportunities in Smithville became more than Robert Sr. and Ida Mae could bear.
They up and moved to California for a couple of years or so. Screw, his mama, Michelle, they was out there for, I guess, about a year or two.
Robert Sr. would also make a move that would change young Robert's life forever.
We was living on a farm out there, and it wasn't much to do but raise crops and so forth, so we decided to move to Houston, and I ended up being a truck driver.
Screw was thrilled to be here because he was coming from the country, you know what I'm saying? So it was a thrill for him, you know what I'm saying? Only thing, he didn't really like it too much because he was missing his mom.
Robert filled the void left by his mother's absence by spending more time on the turntables.
Hey, man, with us, music was so It was in us, like, you know how you wake up in the morning, you know what I'm saying, you get dressed, you put your clothes on. Music was like that.
I think the music the one that really took away from some of his learning in school, because he wanted to be in music.
Still, way back then, I mean, we looked at it as a business because we was doing house parties and stuff, you know what I'm saying? We was, you know, that turned to a house party on Friday, Saturday, every weekend out the month. Yeah, we used to, like some of the mixes we experimented with from doing parties and everything, people like, man, I like to have a tape for that or whatever. So, you know, we'll sell our little tapes for lunch money, you know what I'm saying? We started seeing what kind of money we was making just from that. For us as teenagers, shit, that was a little change.
I didn't have a problem with it. I knew that's what he loved, and I did not stop him from doing what he loved to do, because as long as he was in his room playing his music, I didn't have to worry about him being out in the streets.
When he got here, he had more access to music, you know, connect with different people, big opportunities for him here, and he just loved it, you know what I'm saying?
DJ Chill, a classmate of Screw's, recalls their first meeting.
I talked to him, I said, man, yo, I want to know how to scratch, man, better than what I'm doing. So I rode down there to his crib, and dude had just records everywhere. I mean, I'm talking about his whole living room was nothing but records. He had one 1200 and one other little turntable. And he had a Radio Shack mixer, same mixer I had, you know what I'm saying? We hooked up, and I seen all the records he had. I looked at his records, I looked at my records, like, man, we need to come together and do some stuff.
The two young DJs formed a friendship and a business relationship that would mark the beginning of both young men's careers.
Ray, his partner, Charles, told Ray Barnett about, yo, you get DJ Screw down here, you know what I mean? So Screw went down to Ray Barnett, and I stayed down at Infinity. So we had two clubs going.
Business was picking up, and Screw's talent for mixing was becoming well known.
Toe was one of the first ones to buy a Screw tape, Toe.
You know, everybody's got to turning everybody on, man, you know what I'm saying? Because, you know, like I say first, a lot of cats I ain't know for myself, man, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, like I said, I let Tyrone get a taste of it, and then, you know, next time I know Fatback, like you say, Bay, you know what I'm saying? Everybody from that whole side was screwed out, you know?
This is not a dancing town, you know what I'm saying, by a long side. This ain't like, you know what I'm saying, New York or Miami or something where it's more quick pace. It's like everything is slow and low down here, you know what I'm saying? We talk slower, you know what I'm saying? We chilling like a motherfucker, we mellowed out. When we fucked up, we want to listen to some shit that's slow. Because, you know, if you fucked up, we'll fuck around and blow our high trying to bob our head real fast to some shit. And, you know, that was true with Screw, too.
He really designed it for you to listen to. You can hear every word, every beat, everything.
And it gave a lot of people opportunity to know what some artists was saying, like Twister and Bone Thugs and Harmony, because it was slowed down to where we was able to understand it.
Shit, you could hear everything, you know what I'm saying? The clarity of it was good. Then on top of that, you know, every track he doing something different, but he ain't doing too much.
It was a feeling.
Yeah.
You know,
that's what I'm saying.
It wasn't no sound. It was a feeling. When you can listen to other DJs slowing music down, but they ain't got that feeling and that rhythm. It's like when Screw chopping and tapping that thing, it's all coming from here.
Everything else, if it wasn't Screwed, we wasn't listening to it.
Many disagree on the origin of the slowdown style. The screwheads on one side, the old heads on the other.
Daryl Scott, I think, influenced Screw on a level that Daryl, I don't even think to this day would even knows.
Daryl Scott played a big part in all of our lives as a DJ, you know what I'm saying? Because I remember having a Daryl Scott tape when I was in elementary school.
Daryl Scott on the cool was the first person.
Slow music?
Daryl Scott was the first person to slow music down, man.
Well, the style itself goes far back than the times that we are aware of. It goes all the way back to when 45s was out before 33s. Albums had always been out, but we would take 45s and play around just as an experiment and turn the 45s to 33s, especially if they were fast. And that would be just something that we would do as a joke, but it was never really recorded.
Screw the first nigga I heard slow that shit down. I ain't heard no other slow down shit.
what I'm saying? And that was the first popular. That nigga was, man, fact that they were saying just calling this cool, that nigga was, what you remember that, who was jamming, you remember Price?
This is where most of the credit should go to, and that's Michael Price. Now, Michael Price, being one of my little proteges that I was teaching back in the day, happened to have a couple of my tapes that were slowed down like that. He loved that. That was when Fresh as the Word was out.
He was slowing that Fresh as the Word way back when I was going to the Plaza. Now, on slowing one song down, Daryl Scott was the first.
He would take that tape all the time, and he would come in here and he would work out. And in his working out, he would come back here in the back part of the shop and play some of my old mixtapes, but it was on this radio that he would have, that he had a little screw in, that he would turn that screw and slow the music down. Where he got that idea out while they were on the cut, I don't care how you met. One night, all them boys was out there blowing. Mike was playing one of my tapes. It was before he fixed that radio to slow down. The batteries had gone down on the little radio, boombox we call it. He was carrying that thing, and once that thing started to go down and started dragging on one of my mixed tapes, everybody out there on the cut kind of lost their mind. So that's where he started playing around and rigging up that little box to slow down even with new batteries. So this was done with a screw. How ironic is that? Unfortunately, one night after he left here with a friend of his, they left here and went gambling, and unfortunately he lost his life.
D. Scott started it, Daryl Scott. You know what I'm saying? He was the first person to slow something down and to make it play backwards. That motherfucking power reveal. But screw slowed the whole app, the whole tape down. You know what I'm saying? That's what made all this there, and then he really blowed it up. But D. Scott, I might give him his call.
With Screw and DJ Chill came through one day, said he wanted to present something to me. Let me check something out. And when he came through, he had one of his tapes that he'd put together. I put it in the deck and I'm listening to it, and it's like way down there, farther than where I would go with it. And I'm like, well, what's the matter with it? He's like, no, that's it. That's what we got it right there. I said, oh, okay, I got you. That was like my boy Mike, I used to do that. Like, yeah.
Well, he used to tell me a story about when he was younger, he was DJing. Well, he really wasn't DJing, but his mom had this record player, and he would use a screw and put it on her record. And I still don't know to this day if that story is true, because when I would ask her about it, she would laugh.
Yeah, the slow down style came up when we was going our separate ways for his equipment. I had parties coming in rapidly, and he was doing mixtapes, but we were sharing 2 turntables. You know what I'm saying? He had a 1200, I had a 1200 and a little bull cone turntable. He had a 1200 with a little bull cone turntable. So once we brought those 2 1200s together, you know what I'm saying, made things better. But when I had to go do my parties, I had to take one of the 1200s and one of my little bull cone turntables, you know what I'm saying, and do my thing. So that left him with 1 turntable and a 4-track and a bunch of tape decks. So with a 4-track, you got a pitch control on the 4-track. So, man, he had this tape deck, man, it was so live, man. He would record all his tapes on that machine and use the 4-track to pitch on with the turntable to mix. So a lot of times when you was mixing, you had to slow the record down a little bit slower than average in order to mix with the 4-track. So it came out a little slower than average.
You know what I'm saying? Screw sitting there with the slap, something, I got a mixtape I want you to check out, you know what I'm saying? He throw it in, they check it out, and they like what they heard, pretty soon they be calling them back for another one.
He had this shoebox where people would come to his house and write out a list of what songs they want to put on this tape. He saved every list of anybody ever made. So if they wanted to come back and make that same tape, or if the tape broke or whatever, he can go back and make it again. What made his tape so valuable back then was that they were personal.
He make one with me, and I go over to another neighborhood and he's like, I want a copy of that too. He can't. Gotta ask Screw first.
Yeah.
Then he went to Screw. Screw said, was it cool? Yeah. And that's how the dubs got out.
We would have to walk at night to the payphone, you know what I'm saying? Just for him to write down a list. Somebody wanted a mixtape.
Okay, who you was, it could be me. You know what I'm saying? I'm with this boy, this my nigga. You had to put your list in the box, in the crate. Yeah. You had to put your list in the crate, turn it face down. Ain't none of that old put your shit at the bottom up. And when your time pop up, he gonna call you, gonna make you a tape, man.
Actually, C-Note went over there first. And it was C-Note of the Botany Boys went over there. And C-Note that made a Screw tape.
He had DJ Chill turntables, you know what I'm saying? He had to like give DJ Chill his turntables back at a certain time. So and his dad was at work, and his dad, you know what I'm saying? We used to have to do everything quick before his dad come home.
And we heard C-Note Screw tape too, and I was like, man, you know, that's why it really tripped me out when my brother went over there, because I'm like, man, Pat don't know how to rap, you know? So I'm like, man, it's crazy, you know? So hearing C-Note tape, I was liking it then.
You know, at the time, I was like, look, today I want to rap on my tape, you know what I'm saying? I want to rap on my tape. How you feel about that? He was like, cool, you know what I'm saying? So from there, you know what I'm saying, I was like, well, you know, who else done this, you know what I'm saying? He said, you know, you wouldn't believe it, but Fat Pat left and did like the same thing, you know what I'm saying? It made sense because me and Fat Pat, we was all from the same, you know, area, Cloverland, Kennedy Heights, and we was all freestyling every day, you know what I'm saying? So I guess we was all thinking the same thing, you know what I'm saying?
That style of the flow really come from just freestyling in your hood, cause like all the hoods was doing it.
I'ma come down, riding on foes, niggas sip drink, niggas smoke drugs. He got a different sound, you know, they always say down south rappers, they rap, they talk funny, they country, you know what I'm saying? Call me a king, diamonds in the ring. Every time you see me, it's a crease in the jeans.
And we used to have like the radio in the cars that ain't got no radio, call them throwdowns. We'd be riding around, getting high, freestyling.
And I got skills, house on the hill, pop another pill, flip a ratchet tree.
We wasn't even at Screw House doing, we'll just be riding around, blowing, just doing this in the car freestyling. We ain't have to be at Screw House to do this. Yeah. We was just doing this on the regular, kicking it.
And the language, bro, it was like, what's going on? You know what I'm saying? The slab.
Which is a tricked out old school car with candy paint on 84s or whatever rims you can afford.
You got motherfuckers talking, you know, like motherfuckers claiming they hood and all this shit, you whoop and all this shit, but everything you hearing is familiar. That's why the freestyle shit kind of, cause motherfuckers freestyle, we talking about what we do.
There is an actual system to how he DJ'd, like how he actually made the tape.
Say for instance, you got a track, somebody track you spitting on, you be spitting regular, the beat be regular, you know what I mean? So when you leave, that's when he do his mix. So I can speak for me, I ain't never seen him do his mix. It's like, that's his own ingredient.
The tape started off damn near regular speed. You know, of course his pitch adjustment was moved, but he's slowing it down in the process as he's making it. Then it goes through this other compartment and he slows it down again, transfers it from this tape to this tape, and it's slower.
Until I come back and get my CD or my tape, that's when you get your chop and screw.
I thought I used to see him beat it up a little bit.
He'll chop it, but he won't slow it down.
He slow it down after, you know what I'm saying? It's fast, and then like hours later, he just slow it down.
Wood room, man. Wood room, man. Crazy music, turntables.
We'll let Wood speak on the wood room.
Man, wood room, man. It's basically the room probably a little bit larger than this, you know. It's actually extra added on part to the house, and it was like probably like the back porch or the den, and Screw just zoned it out, made it a studio. It really wasn't connected to the house. It was through one door and another door, but it was like back off in the cut. Bigger than this room, turntables. We gotta have the headset, microphones, the little speakers, and we sitting on crates. And he got crates just like all these CDs there, and they got crates of music, everything. Rock and roll, rap, Phil Collins, Led Zeppelin, everything. He was a music dude, man.
The opportunity to freestyle on the hottest mixtapes on the streets had hustlers and aspiring MCs from all over the South Side rushing to Screw's house for a chance to rep his hood. And as they say, the cream began to rise to the top.
Okay, February of 1994, I was in the kitchen sweeping, and these dudes come over to make this tape. It's on a Sunday, and he hardly ever worked on Sundays. And it was on a Sunday. It just so happens it was Kiki, Duke, Knock, the Herschelwood Hardheads.
He first heard my Screw through my homeboy right here, way back, and he like came through the hood with a flow tape he did with him. You know what I'm saying? Everybody got excited about it, and we went to it.
But they came in and they were rapping on these songs, and it was constant. It was like nobody took a break, nobody took a breath. And I'm standing in the kitchen and I find myself not sweeping anymore. I'm like, damn, I've never heard anything like this. Like, these boys can go. You know, I couldn't believe. I'm like, who are these people? And they were so raw. So I'm listening to this, and then eventually, like, I'm starting to notice, like, Courtney, Cino from Biden Boys, Courtney, Will, they're coming over more. Dez, third was a little kid, like, oh, he was so little, Gator. They were young, they were all real young.
Basically, I was born in the clique, man. You know what I'm talking about? I was like 13, 14, the Screw High putting it down, you know what I'm saying?
And they were coming over and they were doing, they were coming over and flowing to these songs, and they were making their tapes, and you know, and then you get Randy and Ronnie, who were like two brothers that to this day they stand out. Like, you just see them and you just know, like, that's somebody, you know? They were coming over and they were making tapes, and Hawk was constantly making tapes, and Pat was coming over.
Cino really probably was one of the first cats over there, and Pat, you know what I'm saying? RN'D, his brother, you know what I'm saying? I can just say, they're the first few cats that I can say that was over there, you know what I'm saying?
I'm gonna say I was the first person, you know what I'm saying? But honestly, I'm gonna stand on this. Pat, we was out talking about doing it, but he's the first one just to make the Screw House one day. You know what I'm saying? Like, man, let me go on a freestyle on one of these.
And before we knew it, it was like, yo, we got this dude, man, this dude named Screw. And I'm like, who is Screw? And he was like, man, this dude, man, you know this man, you know this dude, man. Screw. I'm like, man, I don't know no Screw, man. So he was like, man, I'm gonna show you who it is, but they always had these tapes. It was slowed down. He was like, man, this boy jamming, man. Damn, this boy jamming.
The process of them days, I'm talking about the day Pat went over there and rapped for the first time, we was right over there the next day. And the third day, we was out in there and Papa Screw was out.
Man, Screw was so popular with so many people just knocking on this door, and Daddy come home from work, he can't even sleep, you know what I'm talking about? Man, it was like that, you know what I'm saying? Screw like, man, he don't even want to go to the door, you know what I'm saying? He been in there, man, tell him I ain't here, just don't answer the door, I'm talking about, because he was like overwhelmed with customers, you know what I'm saying? Like that.
And then it's like, it's so many different people showing up. ESG is coming over, KK is coming over. And it's like this group comes in, and it's Keith, it's Horace, it's Toon, it's Pokey, it's Big Mo. And
it was a couple more people that I met, you know what I'm saying, that was Screwed Up Click that wasn't even artists, you know what I'm saying? But like Screwed Up Click ain't just really rappers and artists. It was people that were there from day one period.
The motherfuckers be talking about the gray tape. I can't, we started with the gray tape and all that. Nigga, what about the clear tape, nigga?
It was like, we the ones that's rapping. We was straight Screwed Up Click. You got a lot of cats that wasn't even rapping SUC, you know what I'm saying?
See, the thing about Screwed Up Click, though, man, it's a lot of members. It's kind of like some Wu-Tang type shit. You know what I mean?
From jump, DJ Screw the General, you know what I'm saying? He was there. You know, he's number one or whatever.
It's probably 150 Screwed Up Click members. It's probably 50 of them that actually rap.
RN'D, Kiwi,
Mike D, Biden Boys.
Well, yeah, Big Steve, yeah, because Mafia was serious.
There's probably 50 of them that, you know, carry them things. You know, there's probably 30 head busters.
Stick dead in, you know, it's a long, it's a long boy off Long Drive, Third Ward, you know, it's a big old, long family.
Before we moved, Corey Blunt brought these 2 pieces of vinyl to the house. And we were living with his dad, and he was like, Screw, you gotta listen to this. You gotta listen to it, you gotta listen to it. And it was swinging and banging.
Man, I had the shit, I had just come out the studio. I just had my shit on CD, and the nigga B was like, hey man, let's take the whole Screw.